report that arose from that particular set of engagements included a unifying foot and mouth disease protocols under a national plan. So everybody is absolutely certain about what the plan is and how we're going to get on top of it. Rebuilding vaccine production capacity and training skilled staff. Deploying rapid tests in the field and reducing laboratory turnaround times to make sure that we are able to respond far quicker when we have suspected outbreaks. Expanding animal identification systems to regional benchmarks. Strengthening our research through the ARC and others around local strains and post-vaccination immunity, and securing sustainable funding across the entire value chain. Also, reassessing outdated or unsupported policies such as the fifth quarter disposal, which has been an impediment to people wanting to report and deal with this particular virus in the past. And then, of course, also establishing abattoirs in foot and mouth disease areas to ensure that you create local value for producers who are then disincentivized to have to take potentially infected or infected animals outside of the DMA in order to realize value for them. As I pledged at this Bosbarat, an industry government task team on animal disease prevention, management, control will now be established. And I wish to make the announcement today about who will be sitting on this incredibly important team. Government and the department, the ministry, will be represented by Dr. Emily Mogajani, who's the Chief Director, Biosecurity Coordination. Dr. Modasani, Chief Director, Animal Health and Production. Dr. Nomsa Mnisi, the Director of Biosecurity Support Services. Dr. Thembasi Kakane, who's the Chief Director of Veterinary Services in KwaZulu-Natal. Dr. Becky Klele, Chief Director, Veterinary Services in Mpumalanga, no relation. Dr. Winton Rabalo, Director of Veterinary Services, Gauteng. Dr. Baratang Lubisi, who's the Research Team Manager at the ARC. Dr. Moses Mabunda, the Director of Veterinary Services, Limpopo. Dr. Marietta Swanapu, Deputy Director, Secretarial Support. Dr. Eseke Ngoveni, State Secretariat Support. Additional provincial veterinarians will be added as and when required. The red meat industry services, because government cannot beat this disease on its own, it requires a partnership and whole of society approach to resolving it. So therefore the RMIS, who represents the red meat sector in South Africa, has nominated the following veterinarians to serve and represent the industry. Professor Dietmar Holm, who's the head of bovine herd health at the University of Pretoria. Dr. Dirk Verwoerd, specialist in infectious diseases of intensive production systems, with emphasis on vaccine development, surveillance, and diagnostics. Dr. Jacques Marais will represent the dairy industry. Dr. Anthony Davis, who will represent milk processors. Dr. Adrian Olivier, who will represent the ostrich industry. Dr. Amanda Buertes, specialist in FMD and ASF diagnostics and molecular epidemiology. Dr. Mark Chimes, who's the represent the dairy sector, and he's the chairperson currently of the Tuberculosis and Brucellosis Steering Committee. Dr. Peter Evans, who's a specialist in the eradication of the PRRS and ASF outbreak management, and Dr. Sean Morris, who's a feedlot specialist. Dr. Bati Dungu, member of WOHA, which is the World Organization of Animal Health Scientific Commission, member of the AU PANOVAC Steering Committee, and an AU ABA expert panel on animal health and disease control. Dr. Dani Oudendal, a ruminant veterinarian specialist. Dr. Gerhard Meertlen, export and abattoir specialist. Dr. Francois Marie, specialist in vaccine design, testing and diagnostics. Dr. Livio Heath, who's specialist in diagnostics, epidemiology, but also importantly international trade relations. It is important to say that this task team will report into the value chain roundtable established by the Agriculture and Agro-Processing Master Plan. That roundtable consists of all value chain stakeholders in the sector. Finally, I want to stress that compliance with legislation and biosecurity protocols is not optional. There are far too many reports of farmers moving cattle showing clinical signs of disease, or just simply treating them privately and not reporting them. This is deeply concerning to us and is highly irresponsible, because such behavior can cause huge economic harm to far too many of our producers in the sector. These actions not only contravene legal directives, but also risk entrenching foot-and-mouth disease as endemic in South Africa. We therefore call on all livestock farmers to cooperate fully with veterinary officials, to report suspect cases immediately to state veterinarians, and to absolutely refrain from moving animals showing clinical signs. Much like banks are required to know their clients, so too should abattoirs, feedlots, and others in the sector make absolutely sure that they are purchasing animals from a reputable source and from individuals who are as committed as they are to ensuring that we control foot-and-mouth disease in South Africa. One of the major reasons why the disease spreads is through agents and speculators who pick up animals and move them as quickly as possible into auctions or feedlots in order to try and maximize their profits, with very little effort shown in a duty of care to ensure that they are doing what they need to do to play their role in curbing the spread of foot-and-mouth disease. The reality is that biosecurity is everyone's responsibility, and it's only through collective discipline and cooperation that we can work together as government, as the sector, as industry players, as the value chain participants, and as well as the producers, to ensure and secure the future of South Africa's livestock industry. I believe that the Bosberaad and the various numerous recommendations flowing from it are going to form the basis of a new approach to tackling foot-and-mouth disease in the country. And I am absolutely sure that if we can get everybody to adhere to the regulations, if everybody plays their part and accepts that biosecurity is everybody's responsibility, then I believe we can prevail over foot-and-mouth disease. And I believe that with the interventions by government, allied with close cooperation with the industry and sector, that we will be able to ensure that South Africa does move to becoming a foot-and-mouth disease-free country again, and regaining that status, and ensuring that the world opens up to our beef, which we all know is amongst the best quality in the world. There are huge markets out there waiting for us, and we need to make sure that we resolve these issues at home in order to open up the huge opportunities and bounty that lies abroad for producers, farmers, livestock auctioneers, feedlotters, abattoirs, and exporters. That should be the incentive that we all have to ensure that our beef and red meat sector prevails and thrives in the new global context.